Hello, and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the Interchange 5th edition level 3, the Green Book, and today we're going to be starting with the Unit 14. As always, we're going to be starting with the language summary or the vocabulary for this lesson. So let's jump right in with some nouns. Okay, we're going to be talking about cinema and stuff like that. Character. A character is a person in a novel, play, or film. It's basically like the people inside of the media, the novel, play, or film that are the that do the things. Rocky Balboa is a character, and Forrest Gump is another character. Tyler Durden, sorry, is another character. Detail. An individual fact or item, something specific. What are other words for details? What? I don't know these words, sorry. Particulars, inside information, knowledge, dope, specification, information, facts or data. Those are details as well. It's like a specific type of information. Film. A story or event recorded by a camera as a set of moving images and shown in a cinema or on television. It is basically any type of movie. It's another way to call movies. Location. An actual place or natural setting in which a film or broadcast is made, as distinct from a simulation in a studio. So, if you wanna I don't know, shot something like record a movie in a mountain, you cannot spend a lot of money into making the scene in a studio look like a mountain. For that reason, you just go to the mountain itself, and that will be the location, the physical and actual real place where they shoot movies. Role. An actor's part in a play, film, etc. So basically, here we have this is different to characters. Why? Because the role is what the actors play. Okay? So the character, maybe it's the Grinch, but it's a role for this actor that is Jim Carrey. Okay? So we have the actor, the role of the character, basically. Okay? A scene, a sequence of continuous action in a play, film, opera, or book. It's basically a moment where something is happening, on the play, film, opera, or book. A script, the written text of a play, film, or broadcast. It's like the guide of what people have to do and to say in the scenes. Set, the enclosure in which a film scene is shot includes scenery and props. Basically, this is the studio. Instead of going to a location that is going like in this case like an actual house, they make it in a set in a way so they can have all of the lights in a perfect balance so they can be shooting it in a good way. That's why usually in some movies or series when they are in actual houses, the houses looks dark because they are not gonna be putting all of these lights on each house. And this is usually used for sitcoms or comedies. Shot, a series of frames that runs for an uninterrupted period of time. Film shots are an essential aspect of a movie where angles, transitions, and cuts are used to further express emotions, ideas, and movement. Basically, the shot is instead of being like the motion, or it's actually the motion as well, but it's like the whole scenery at that moment. It's maybe running because it is a movie, but the shot it's the specific location and the way that things are being shown. For example, in Blade Runner, I think it is this soul man in this red background, and in Inception, this type of moving plays, and so on and so forth with each one. Special effects. Special effects are illusions or visual tricks used in the theater, film, television, video game, and simulator industries to simulate the imagined events in a story or virtual world. Basically, dragons don't exist that we know of. So, If you're telling a story about dragons and stuff and you want to show actual dragons, well, what they do is that they make it through special effects. Instead of with this, then it is, petting this dragon. It's not like they are gonna be making a fake dragon like this because it will be really expensive, and it's also not gonna be so believable. But with the special effects, you can make it look like it's real. Storyboard, a sequence of drawings, typically with some directions and dialogue, representing the shots planned for a film or television production. Basically, the storyboards are like the scripts put with images of how things should be looking at. And usually it's used for things like animations. It's mostly used for that. Studio. A film studio, also known as movie studio or simply studio, is a major entertainment company or motion picture company that has its own privately owned studio facility or facilities that are used to make films, which is handled by the production company. Basically, the studios are the people that make the movies, like the crew, the building, and there are different studios for that. Okay. Media professions. Okay. Professions related to media. Actors and actresses. Actor is for men and actress is for women. Band manager. The people that, are the leader or the one that manage the band. These are the Beatles and this is Kiss. Club DJ, a disc jockey. Game designer. A game designer is a person who designs gameplay, conceiving and designing the rules and structure of a game. Usually a video game, actually, not only games. Editor. A person who is in charge of and determines the final content of a newspaper, magazine, movie, or multi-author book. Basically, the editor is who puts everything together after the creatives design and create them. Game animator. Combine art and technology to create interactive animated images and environments for video games. Okay, so basically, these are the people that make the animations for video games. In this case, this is from Nier Automata. This is 2B, and here he's making the animations. Gameplay programmer. Write the code for the interactions that make a game fun to play, which lead designers decide on the combat. Gameplay programmers make it happen. Basically, the gameplay programmer are like you think of an idea on how to do something and then or what would be good in a game. Well, then the gameplay programmer needs to make that real. Art or photo editor, responsible for the look of final photographs to be published in a book or periodical or that appear digitally. It's basically the editor of photos and artistic images. News photographer, Quality Assurance Analyst or QA Analyst. It's a person who is responsible for maintaining software quality within an organization. Such individuals develop and use written testing methods and may also be involved with ISO 9000 and the CEI models. The ISO 9000 is a quality assurance regulation, and this is something related to software usually. Songwriter. A songwriter is a person who writes songs. Okay, but yeah, it is that. It's the person, there are some really good artists that they don't write their songs. Other people write them and then they sing it and they try and they also buy it, so it's them now. But the songwriter are the people that actually write the songs. Storyboard artist. Help the head story create a visual representation of the animation's narrative, translate the script and the director's visions into pictures. The storyboard artist is what we saw before. This is the storyboard, these are the images of the things that happen, and this person makes it out of the script, basically, and what the director's visions have been shown to him. Stunt person. one who doubles for an actor during the filming or stunts and dangerous scenes. They don't really need to be like that look-alike, they just need to be similar to them. And it's usually when their faces cannot be seen. And if their faces are seen, it's usually put there by the special effects department. Talk show host, a presenter of a program on which celebrities are interviewed. These are the people that host host the interviews on talk shows. So it's talk show host. And I think he's Jimmy Kimmel if I remember correctly. And I have seen him before, but I don't know. One of these is Saturday Night Live. One of them. I don't know. It's one of them. Lighting or sound effects technician. These are the technicians to work with lighting and sound effects. Web content manager, responsible for overseeing the content that appears on a website. They often manage a team of content producers and assign projects and tasks to employees. These are the managers for the web content, basically. Production or technical or editorial director. It's basically a director for each one of these topics. This person is in charge of content production, which includes the development, editing, management, quality control, and implementation, while coordinating with various professionals and several departments. Let's see some other nouns. Clerk, a person employed in an office or bank to keep records, accounts, and undertake other routine administrative duties. Basically, the clerks are like the same as the regular employees, like that can help you with other things, but they are on the administrative level, basically. Computer graphics. Computer graphics is the branch of computer science that deals with generating images with the aids of computers. There are some things that you cannot only do it by drawing, but you make it with computers, like this model right here. And I think this is Blender. Crowd. A large number of people gathered together in a disorganized or unruly way. This is a crowd. It's a big crowd, actually. You can also call this a multitude, but not necessarily all crowds are a multitude. Multitude is for like a really amount of people. Jury, a body of people, typically 12 in number, sworn to give a verdict in a legal case on the basis of evidence submitted to them in court. Stage, a raised floor or a platform, sorry, typically in a theater on which actors, entertainers, or speakers perform. This is basically this place right here where everybody can look at them. Thousands of, often plural, it's a very large but unspecified number, amount, or quantity. They are thousands of miles away. Thousands of, after 999, you have 1,000. And then to say thousands of, it means a very large amount of people, but you're not specifying. Like maybe here they are thousands of. Oh my god, this is horrible. And there are thousands of fish, maybe. Let's see some adjectives. Computer animated. Animated through computers. Computer animated films use computers to make the characters look as if they are moving. For example, Toy Story is a computer animated film. Challenging. Testing one's abilities or demanding. Entirely. Some other words for entirely that you can think of entire or entirety of things, but as an adjective. Wholly, completely, totally, altogether, only, fully, exclusively, solely, absolutely, or thoroughly. Thoroughly. Full length. Of the standard length, basically. A full length job, it's or a full-time job also. It's a job from 9 to 5 or 8 to 5. In demand, needed or wanted by many people. Non-existent, that it doesn't exist. What's the opposite of non-existent? existent, existing, real, actual, active, true, alive, present, current, genuine. Verbs. Let's see some verbs. B. Defeat someone in a game or other competitive situation. Okay? Win versus beat. You win a game, you win a prize, you win a match, you win a competition, etc. But you beat an opponent, you beat a team, you beat a player. Okay? So basically, to beat, it's like you could have lost, or you could have if you don't lose against another people or another team in a competition, then you use beat. This is what it says here. Defeat someone in a game or other competitive situation. Deal with. To take action to do something, especially to solve a problem. You are dealing with bankruptcy. You are taking action to do something about that problem. Shoot the movie. To film, to record, to make a film as a verb. Okay, so to shoot the movie, it's when you are recording the movie. Rehearse. It's a practice or a play, a piece of music, or other work for later public performance. If you're gonna sing in a festival or in a contest, you first need to rehearse. After you rehearse, you're gonna be doing it better in a public performance. Okay, that was the grammar for today. We're gonna come back here when we get to the grammar. But for now, let's go to the book. Okay, so we're gonna be starting with the unit 14. In this unit, we're gonna be describing steps in a process and discuss jobs in entertainment and the media. Okay, this is for the next video, but today we're gonna describe steps in a process. That is something really important. The name of this unit is Creative Careers. Okay, we're gonna start with this snapshot. Milestones in contemporary cinematography. Okay. So in recent movies, okay, these are the first things. The first movie with Dolby Digital sound, it's Batman Returns in 1992. Computer animated feature film, the first one, it was Toy Story in 1995. The first major movie shot entirely in digital video was Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones in 2002. Oh wow. Okay, the first computer animated motion capture film was The Polar Express 2004. I saw that movie, it was really good. The first movie to be released simultaneously in theaters, on DVD, and on the internet was EMR. I don't know that movie, from 2005. The first film directed by a woman to win the Oscar for Best Picture was The Hurt Locker, 2008. Interesting. The first full-length feature film shot on a phone was Olive in 2011. So you can pretty much make films with whatever you want. The first major movie filmed at 48 frames per second instead of the standard 24 was The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. Interesting. So it was really smoothly. Very good. Did you know about this? Let me know in the comments. Okay, now we have a conversation right here. It's called I Have More Control. Okay, we're gonna listen to both part A and part B, and after listening to part B, we're gonna answer the question, who helps Clara choose the voice actors? Okay, we're gonna first listen to both of them, and then we're gonna chat. Okay? Okay, so let's listen.
Unit 14, Creative Careers. Page 92, Exercise 2, Conversation. I have more control. Part A. Listen and practice.
Thanks for coming to the film festival. Directing this film was amazing, and I'm happy to answer your questions about it.
Yes, hi. What is it like to direct an animated movie? Is it different from live action?
Well, for one thing, I have a lot more control. There are no actors to argue with me.
I guess not. But how do you direct cartoon characters?
Well, after a screenplay is chosen, many drawings of the characters are presented to me.
And you get to choose which ones to use?
Even better, I can change them if I want. The characters have to be drawn just right. like I see them in my mind.
So you decide a lot about the characters early on.
Definitely. By the time the voice actors are picked, the characters feel like old friends.
Page 92. Exercise 2. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. Who helps Clara choose the voice actors?
I see there's another question. You, in the red shirt, please.
Yes, I'm curious. Do you, as the director, get to choose the actors for the voices?
I do, but for big-budget animated movies, I often get help from a casting director.
Can I ask why that is?
A casting director can help you get big names, and when popular stars are used, it can bring a wider audience to an animated film, which, of course, means more money can be made.
Is it pretty hard to get movie stars? Wouldn't they rather be working on live-action movies?
Actually, no, you'd be surprised. Some big names in Hollywood want to work on animated films because they want to do a movie their kids will love, and I love that.
Okay, very good. This was really fun. It makes you want to work in a as animated movie, you know? It's really good. But did you get the answer for this question? Who helps Clara choose the voice actors? If you do, let's check. Well, it's a casting director, basically the people that help get the cast for the movies. So it's a casting director. Very good. Okay, now we're gonna go straight into the grammar focus for today. That it's the passive to describe process. So we're gonna be using the passive voice to say how to do things in order. Okay? We can use this, but as always, I have some material for you right here. Grammar. The passive to describe process. Okay, we're gonna start with this. Okay, basically to use the passive to describe process, we use either is or are and the past participle. You know, the passive. As screenplay is chosen. This is the first part of the sentence. Many drawings are presented. This is using, you know, the passive. Then we can use modal, then the verb be, and the past participle. Okay? So might, have to. The characters have to be drawn just right. The drawings might be changed. This is a might, it's not an 8, sorry, it's cropped. The drawings might be changed 10 times. Okay? So this is the process. Sorry. A screenplay is chosen. The characters have to be drawn just right. Many drawings are presented. The drawings might be changed 10 times. This is the process of how the things are being done. The models have to and need to must agree with the subject. Other models like maybe have only one form. Each character has to or needs to be drawn by the animators, okay? So it needs to be related to the thing that is the subject, what we're talking about. Okay? So look at this. With the active voice, what is the first step to creating a building? The architect designs the building. This is how it's in active voice. A doer does a thing to our receiver. A doer verbs the receiver. The architect designs the building. And in the passive voice, the things change. We focus on the receiver that is being affected by the action, and it's optional to say who does that. The building is designed. That's it. You don't need more than that. But it's optional to say what? Something more. The building is designed by the architect. Okay? Number 1. It's not important what it's doing the action. It's obvious what is doing the action, or it's unknown what it's doing the action. That's when we use the passive voice. The building is designed. Of course, a building is designed by an architect, so it's not necessary, it's obvious. Or maybe if we don't know, instead of saying, for example, the architect, the architect Jose Rodriguez designs the building. The building is designed. Okay, that's it. We don't know that Jose Rodriguez designed this building, so we don't say it because it's unknown. Okay. You cook the beans. this is active voice. Then with passive voice, the beans are cooked. By you, optional, but not necessary. The beans are cooked. That's it. Okay? To emphasize the importance of an action in a process, use a modal, what we saw right here. So we need to emphasize, so we use a modal. Okay? The receiver, modal, be, and the past part, the last part. The beans must be cooked. The beans are cooked. The beans must be cooked. You see, it's different. Okay, very good. The passive with a modal, it's like this. The receiver, the modal, be as an optional, and the past participle. The beans must be cooked. The beans needs to be cooked. The beans have to be cooked. Okay? The beans have got to be cooked. The beans should be cooked, and the beans may be cooked. And what is the difference with each one of these? That if you use from this side, must, needs to, have to, it's mandatory. But if you have got to, should, may, it's just a good idea. It's not necessary. Okay? Now, look at this in action. The passive voice to to make to describe a process. How to make gallo pinto, whatever this is. Well, first the beans need to be cooked. Okay, the rice has to be made. The onion and pepper have got to be cut and cooked. The beans and rice must be mixed with vegetables. Lisano sauce should be added, for example. Okay, and this is how you use it. Okay, I hope that you understand this. It's really interesting, and it's something that you already know with the with a passive voice. So this is easy for you. It's used to use it in describing a process. Okay, and if you really understand, we're gonna be completing this exercise right here. Okay, so let me see. Okay, here you can see it. You're gonna the sentences below describe how an animated movie is made. First, complete the sentences using the passive, okay? So, you need to complete this using the passive voice, okay? Take your time to complete this, and then we're gonna check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Okay, so first, storyboards are drawn by story artists. For some movies, over 200,000 storyboards might be drawn. Next, the storyboards need to be placed in order. Wow. After the storyboard process is completed, technical director must be hired. Then the scenes and characters have to be created on the computer by the technical directors. Finally, movement is added to the scenes by animators. In addition, these scenes are populated with background characters. Voice-over steps. First, temporary scratch voices are recorded. Sometimes scratch voices are so good that they aren't or are not replaced. Later, professional actors are hired to record the character voices. For some movies, studios hire famous actors so their names can be used as a marketing tool. The lines are rehearsed, and the same line is recorded in different ways. Finally, the best recording is chosen for the final movie. If you have these answers, very good, you are correct. Okay, let's now go to the last thing for today, that it's gonna be a listening, okay? It was too predictable. Okay, you're gonna listen to Casey and Grant talk about things that often happen in movies. You're gonna number the parts of a movie in the order that they are mentioned. And then, for each movie part, write an example from the movies the friends discuss, okay? Very good. So, take your time to listen, to complete the 2 parts of the exercise, and then we're gonna check, okay? Okay, so let's check. Let's listen, sorry.
Page 93. Exercise 4. Listening. It was too predictable. Part A. Listen to Casey and Grant talk about things that often happen in movies. Number the parts of a movie in the order they are mentioned.
So, what did you think of the movie?
Well, the acting was good, but I thought it was too predictable.
What do you mean predictable?
I could tell what was going to happen even before it happened on screen. All of these action movies have the same basic story.
I don't think so. What about Star Wars? That movie is totally different from this one.
Well, okay, this movie is set in Washington, D.C., not in space, but the basic formula is the same. First, the main character is introduced, the good guy.
Right. We had Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, and in this one, we have the President of the United States.
Exactly. Then, a problem is presented, right? Usually the problem is bad guys who do something wrong and the good guys have to stop them. That's when the action really starts.
Of course, because it's an action movie.
Right. So, like Luke has to save Princess Leia and fight Darth Vader. Or, like in this movie, the president has to fight enemy soldiers trying to take over the White House.
And then, something bad happens, and it seems like all hope is lost.
Exactly. In this movie, it seemed like the president was winning, but then the bad guys kidnapped his family.
And in Star Wars, Princess Leia's planet was destroyed.
But it's all really just a test of our hero's strength and determination.
Wow. Okay. It really does seem like there are some similarities. So then finally, we get to some good stuff, like the president setting a trap for the enemy soldiers.
Yes, a new plan is put into action. Remember how the Death Star spaceship had one weakness? Luke and the rebels planned to destroy the ship.
And in the end, the bad guy is defeated. Luke destroys the Death Star, Princess Leia is safe, and Darth Vader is spun off into space.
Thank goodness, right? And in this movie, the president's family is saved and the soldiers are sent to jail. It's a feel-good ending.
And that's the most important part.
Okay, very good. Did you get all of that? If not, remember that you can go back in the video and listen to it one more time. But if you do, or you watch it again, let's answer these questions now, okay? So let's check. The order is, number 1, the main character is introduced. Number 2, a problem is presented. Number 3, something bad happens and all hope is lost. Number 4, a new plan is put in action. And number 5, the bad guy is defeated. Now, did you get also the second part? An example from the movies the friends discuss? Well, from 4, a new plan is put into action. It's Luke's plan to destroy the Death Star, and also the president sets a trap. Number 2, a problem is presented. Luke Skywalker has to save Princess Leia and fight Darth Vader. The president has to fight enemy soldiers trying to take over the White House. Number 3, something bad happens and all hope is lost. Princess Leia's planet was destroyed. The bad guys kidnap the president's family. Number 1, the main character is introduced. This is Luke Skywalker and the president of the United States. And the last one, the bad guy is defeated. It's basically Darth Vader is spun off into space and the soldiers are sent to jail. If you have all of this, very good, you are correct. Okay, that's been everything for today. I hope that you like this class and I hope that you look forward into the next video that it's gonna be discussing jobs in entertainment and the media, and the grammar is gonna be another take on the defining and non-defining relative clauses that we have seen in previous videos, okay? So I hope that you look forward into it, but see you in the next time. Bye!